Welcome back, where after 2 of the 6 rounds, we already have a tense battle. 2 points separate the first 3, and we have joint leaders on 14 points. Philip Shaw from Heno, Derbyshire, and Ranjit Nagra from Orton, Lancashire. The next round will be so important, and it's observation. In this round, the contestants are not only tested on the accuracy of what they remember, but also on their speed of thought as we monitor their responses on electronic keypads. And with that, let's now eavesdrop on retired policeman Chief Inspector Fred Pilkington as he tells journalist Julie Webb how he solved yet another complicated crime. Contestants, turn to your screens now, please, and concentrate hard on the case of the Inside Man.
It was a Friday, November 16th, 1988. 4:30 in the afternoon.
Come on!
Newby and Baker forced the 2 guards, McIntyre and Delaney, to open 17 of the boxes and got away with jewellery and securities worth £349,000. But how they got in without being seen on the security video? And how did they know which boxes to hit?
Well, they had to have inside help. Who, McIntyre or Delaney?
Couldn't find any connection. And neither of them did anything out of place.
So?
Luck. About 5 weeks later, McIntyre's wife turned up one day and implicated her husband.
Why?
He just left her for another woman.
Hell hath no fury.
Precisely. McIntyre's lady friend was a barmaid at the Black Lion, and she had a brother-in-law who was well known to as Nicholas Newby. She'd introduced her boyfriend to her brother-in-law, and as soon as Newby knew what McIntyre's job was...
So which one did you go for?
McIntyre. What broke him was the fact that it was his wife who'd shopped him.
And he felt guilty that he'd left her for a younger woman.
Maybe. The girlfriend waited for him. 10 years. Newby and Baker got 16 years apiece.
Well, another case solved, and as always, our thanks to Roy Barraclough and Annabelle Giles. Right, contestants, take your keypads now, please. Coming up, 5 questions with multi-choice answers. Question 1. On what date was the robbery committed? Your choices. Time's up. The answer is A, Friday, November the 16th. Question 2. One of the robbers was holding a gun in his hand. What else was he also holding? Time's up. The answer is C, sports bag. There were 4 pictures on the security video. How many contained people? And the answer is C, 1. What were the 2 robbers called? The answer is B, Newby and Baker. Finally, question 5. When we first saw the pool table, how many yellow balls were there? And the answer, C, 3. And immediately the computer converts the choices of the contestants and their speed of thought into a result, and this is it. Ranjit, you got 2 right and a 4th, 2 points. Stephen, you got 3 right, 3rd place, 4 points. John, you also got 3 right, but faster. 2nd place, 6 points. And congratulations, Philip, you got 4 right and win the round with 10 points. And we now add those points to the current totals. And it means going clear now with a 6-point lead on a Krypton Factor of 24. The chartered accountant from Heno, Derbyshire, Philip Shaw. Major Peter Lyons of the Army Physical Training Corps gets the assault course race underway with Philip Shaw from Heno nearest to us in red, then in green Birmingham Stephen Grant, in yellow John Johnson from Sheffield, and on the far side in blue Ranjit Nagra from Orton, Lancashire. And completing the balance section, it's Philip Shaw and John Johnson moving away from Ranjit and Stephen. The leaders head for the switchback with John Johnson on the far side opting for the unconventional face-up technique. Indeed, we saw a contestant a couple of weeks back lose 2 places in this obstacle adopting that technique, and it hasn't served John too well either. He's lost several yards on Philip and will need to work very hard to get back on equal terms. Up they go to the high balance, and he is closing up again, just a stride or two in it. And these two, of course, are in the same positions, first and second in the overall contest. So I think we can expect a ding-dong battle all the way down the course. The chartered accountant in red versus the police constable in yellow. And back in third place, it's Ranjit Nagra, has his own optician's business, not that far from this course. And now John Johnson is level again with Philip Shaw as they reach the cargo net. It's stride for stride as they battle their way up to the tram wires. Both keep themselves very fit, so stamina won't be a problem for them. And Philip just a bit quicker to get into position on those wires. Knees outside, ankles inside is the recommended technique. And just as tight a battle for third place going on between Stephen and Ranjit. But down the bruising S-bend, Philip Shaw. Now his smaller size and weight might have given him advantage there. 5'7" and 11 stone against John's 6 feet and 14 stone. And he has in fact stretched his lead by a couple more yards, but John's still very much in contention, and Ranjit now pulling away from Stephen Grant. Stephen from the Yardley area of Birmingham and secretary of his local 10-pin bowling league. Top of the A-frame, Philip's still ahead, and that's textbook stuff, precisely how to get over the top quickly and efficiently. And the pattern seems to be that Philip gains a yard or two's advantage on the obstacles with better technique, and John's long strides gets him back on the flat. But the good news for Philip is that it's nearly all obstacles from now to the finish. He looks very confident and very strong, and it's an almost identical battle going on behind. Ranjit pulling away, then Stephen coming back. Philip approaching the climb to the rope bridge, and in the background you can see and hear the PT instructors from the Army Physical Training Corps really encouraging the contestants. The PTI spend a day teaching them the best techniques for the obstacles, and now they're urging Ranjit and Stephen here not to let up, and they're also praising Philip and John for their efforts. And John closing there on the rope bridge. No, he goes right through it and drops down onto the safety net. Well, that's why it's there, but that's a disaster for John Johnson, who has to go back and climb up to the bridge all over again. Now, I don't know if Philip realised what's happened. He tried to look back as he set off, and he does so again, so he will be aware that John is not pressing him anymore. The race is safe, though knowing him, he won't let up at all. And John is now back on the rope bridge, coping with it this time, but what a terrible blow for him, though he should hold on to second place, as Ranjit here has just a bit too much to do. And Philip sprints to the line, punches the air in delight. Great run, excellent technique, 10 points. And John might well have been challenging Philip all the way to the line, but for that one bad mistake which cost him his chance. Stephen Grant certain now to be fourth, and just one more obstacle for a soaking wet and disappointed John Johnson. Ranjit Nagra in third place, finishing much stronger than Stephen Grant behind him, and John Johnson about to complete the course. Well, he helped give us a tremendous race with high drama at the end, 6 well-deserved points. Stephen Grant, age 23, or put another way, when Krypton first started on television, he was only 6 years old. We'll not dwell on that, as Ranjit Nagra strides home to pick up 4 points. And we now go to the scoreboard, where the lead has increased to 10 points. Out in front with the Krypton Factor now of 34. The chartered accountant from Heanor in Derbyshire, Philip Shaw. Well, Philip setting a hot pace, but with 2 places in the group final at stake, this round will be crucial. Contestants, take your places, please. In front of each of them are 8 pieces with slots and plugs which lock together to form a wheel. The rainbow design provides the key to the correct order of assembly, the pieces fitting together on the axle provided. Are you ready, contestants? The test starts now. The contestants didn't, of course, see that example of the finished product, but by noticing that the smallest sections, which must form the middle of the wheel, are indigo and violet, they immediately know that the rainbow colour order works from the outside inwards: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. They, of course, can only start at the centre, so they're working the colours in reverse, and they're now finding that they can only progress by assembling and locking together one layer at a time. And John Johnson completes the first layer. Ranjit Nagra. Each piece in that layer will have a different arrangement of plugs and sockets, and it's not attaching to the hub because he hasn't yet fitted the key piece. John Johnson doing well though, in second place going into the round, 10 points behind this man Philip Shaw, who's getting close to finishing too. It's going to be very tight, 1 piece left for John, but it won't be complete until it's properly locked together. And that's it. Yes, John Johnson very pleased to get 10 points, and he'll have closed the gap now. But maybe not by as much as he'd have liked, because the contest leader, Philip Shaw, is going to take second place. Yes, that means 6 points. Now, will it be Stephen here or Ranjit for third place? There's a gap in the green section near the bottom which needs sorting out, and Ranjit has similar problems, well, worse actually, and he's still got a lot to do. But I think Stephen's put things right. Yes, third place. Well, congratulations to John, who got himself back in contention with 10 points in that round. And we go to the scoreboard to see how it all worked out. And there is John, just 6 points behind the leader, who with a Krypton Factor of 40 is the chartered accountant, Philip Shaw. So it all rests on this sixth and final round. At the end of it, the winner will have secured his place in next week's Group C final, and tonight's runner-up will join him if his score is better than 36 points. 75 seconds of rapid-fire general knowledge questions to be answered on the buzzer. 2 points for a correct answer, but 2 points deducted for a wrong answer. Good luck, contestants. The clock starts now. Which month, named after the first Roman emperor, is now the 8th in the calendar? Ranjit?
August.
Correct. On which date in August does grouse shooting officially, Ranjit?
16.
No, the 12th. Number 12 Downing Street is the address of which officials in charge of MPs voting? Philip?
Chancellor.
No, the Whips. In which English county are Whipsnade, Woburn Abbey and Luton Airport? Ranjit?
Bedfordshire.
Correct. Who was imprisoned in Bedford jail in the 17th century when he began to write The Pilgrim's Progress? Stephen?
John Bunyan.
Correct. Banyan, catalpa and persimmon are all types of what that grow in Asia? John?
3.
Correct. Which drug made from cinchona tree bark was formerly the only effective treatment for malaria? John?
Quinine.
Is correct. The quirinal and esquiline are two of 7 Ranjit?
Rome.
Correct. What is Romeo's surname in Shakespeare's play? Stephen?
Capulet.
No, Montague. Which former abbey, home of Lord Montague, houses the National Motor Museum? John?
Bewley.
Correct. Bulawayo and Harare are the chief towns of which country? Ranjit?
Zimbabwe.
Correct. What are or were a cymbalum, a clavichord and a dulcimer? John?
Instruments.
Musical instruments, correct. And at the end of the round, the end of the contest, the winner tonight with a Krypton Factor of 42 is the police officer from Sheffield, John Johnson. Well, a great finishing burst by John, and our warmest congratulations go to him on that last round victory. And of course it now means we know the complete lineup for next week's Group C final. And it is Eddie Jackson from Nottingham, the winner of Heat 1. Tim Richardson from Abingdon in Oxfordshire, the Heat 2 winner. And of course tonight's winner, John Johnson from Sheffield. And tonight's second place contestant, Philip Shaw, takes the place for the highest scoring runner-up. Should be a marvellous contest, and it will decide who takes the remaining 2 places in the grand final in a fortnight. So do join us next Monday at 7 o'clock. In the meantime, from all the contestants here and from me, good night.
Who's the most famous person in your mobile? Wonder who'll be the most famous friend to get a phone call? Celebrity Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, weekdays at 9 p.m. New to challenge.